One of the most powerful spiritual secrets that has the power to completely change your life forever is the sacred word principle. This amazing change doesn't need any special tools, expensive courses, or years of hard work. This principle is about something you do every single day without even thinking about it, the words you speak. Right now, as you watch this video, you might be struggling with money problems, feeling stressed and worried, or wondering why good things never seem to happen to you. But what if I told you that the answer to all of this has been sitting right inside your mouth this whole time? For example, if you want to attract money into your life, the truth is that you need to speak like someone who already has money before the money actually shows up in your bank account. Otherwise, you'll keep saying the same broke words that keep you broke, jumping from one get-rich-quick scheme to another, wondering why nothing ever works for you. You might try new jobs, new businesses, new investment strategies, but if your words stay the same, your results will always stay the same too. Think about it for a moment. Every morning when you wake up, what are the first words that come out of your mouth? Do you say things like, "I can't afford this," or "money is so hard to make," or "I never have enough"? If you do, then you're actually programming your life for more lack and struggle. It's like planting seeds in a garden and then wondering why you keep getting weeds instead of flowers. Most people have no idea that they're breaking one of the most important universal laws every single day. They think words are just sounds that disappear into the air, but the truth is much deeper than that. Every word you speak is like a command to the universe, an order that must be filled. When you say, "I'm always broke," the universe hears this as an instruction and immediately goes to work to make sure you stay broke. But here's what's really shocking. Most people are completely unaware of this process. They go through their entire lives speaking poverty, sickness, loneliness, and stress into existence. And then they wonder why these things keep showing up over and over again. They blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their bad luck, or other people, never realizing that they've been the ones creating these problems with their own words. This isn't about positive thinking or pretending everything is perfect when it's not. This is about understanding how the spiritual world actually works and learning to cooperate with these invisible laws instead of fighting against them. The same way gravity always works whether you believe in it or not, the sacred word principle is always working in your life whether you know about it or not. Here's something that will surprise you. If you study wealthy people, really wealthy people, you'll notice they have a completely different way of talking about money. They don't say things like, "I can't afford it." Instead, they ask, "How can I afford it?" They don't say, "Money doesn't grow on trees." They say things like, "Money flows to me easily," or "I always find ways to create wealth." Their language is totally different, and that's not an accident. Poor people and rich people literally speak different languages when it comes to money. Poor people speak the language of lack, limitation, and struggle. Rich people speak the language of abundance, possibility, and flow. And the universe responds to each language exactly as it's spoken. This is why you can give a poor person $1 million, and they'll often lose it all within a few years. Their words haven't changed, so their reality snaps back to match their language. But you can also take someone who speaks the language of wealth and remove all their money, and they'll usually rebuild their fortune relatively quickly. Why? Because their words create their reality, not the other way around. Their bank account might be empty temporarily, but their vocabulary is still rich, and the universe responds to that. So the first lesson in this principle is this: if you don't change your words, nothing in your life will change. This is the heart of the sacred word principle. You can try every strategy, every technique, every method for attracting money and blessings, But if your words stay the same, your results will stay the same too. It's like trying to drive to a new city while your GPS is programmed for your old address. No matter how fast you drive or how hard you try, you'll keep ending up in the same place. This is the fundamental essence of why most people stay stuck in the same patterns year after year. They change their actions, they change their strategies, they might even change their location, but they never change their language. And since language is the programming code for reality, nothing really changes in their experience. If you master this principle, everything you speak will come true like magic. Your words will become like a magic wand that shapes reality according to your desires. But this requires you to become extremely careful about what comes out of your mouth. You'll have to stop complaining, stop gossiping, stop speaking lack and limitation, and start speaking only what you want to see in your life. This means you'll have to give up one of most people's favorite activities, talking about their problems. Most people love to talk about how hard life is, how unfair things are, how broke they are, how stressed they are. They get together with friends and family and spend hours discussing all the things that are wrong in their lives. But when you understand the sacred word principle, you realize that this kind of talk is literally creating more problems. If you're really ready for real spiritual change, this video is for you. What I'm about to share with you goes against everything most people believe about how life works. Most people think that you speak about what's happening in your life, but the truth is exactly the opposite. What's happening in your life is the result of what you've been speaking. In this video, I'll also share the exact words I say every morning that changed everything for me. These aren't just random positive statements or wishful thinking. These are specific words that work with spiritual laws to create real changes in the physical world. I've been using these words for years now, and the results have been beyond anything I could have imagined when I started. But I need to warn you about something important. Once you learn these principles and start applying them, you can't go back to your old way of speaking without consequences. It's like learning to read. Once you know how to read, you can't pretend you don't know anymore. Once you understand how your words create your reality, you become responsible for every word that comes out of your mouth. Most people are paying a terrible price for not knowing these principles. They're creating lives of struggle and limitation without even realizing it. Every day they wake up and immediately start speaking lack, fear, worry, and stress into their experience. Then they spend the rest of the day dealing with the very problems they created with their morning words. They say things like, "This is going to be a terrible day," and then wonder why their day goes badly. They say, "I never have enough money," and then wonder why they're always broke. They say, "Good things never happen to me," and then wonder why their life is full of problems. They're literally programming their own misery and then blaming external circumstances for their unhappiness. But it gets even worse than that. Not only are they creating problems for themselves, but they're also teaching their children to speak the same way. Generation after generation learns the language of lack and passes it down to the next generation. Entire families stay trapped in cycles of poverty, struggle, and limitation because nobody ever learned how to speak differently. The sad truth is that most people will go through their entire lives never discovering this secret. They'll struggle and stress and worry for decades, never knowing that the solution was always available to them. They'll try everything else, working harder, getting more education, moving to different places, changing careers, but they'll never try changing their words. But here's the amazing news. You have been given one of the most incredible powers in the entire universe, the power to speak things into existence. This isn't just a metaphor or a nice spiritual idea. This is a real power that works according to specific laws. When you speak, you're not just making noise. You're giving instructions to invisible forces that immediately go to work to make your words come true. Think about this for a moment. You have the same power that created the entire universe. According to spiritual teachings from around the world, everything that exists was spoken into being, and you have been given a small portion of that same creative power. Every time you open your mouth, you're either creating more of what you want or more of what you don't want. This is why your words are so incredibly important. They're not just communication tools, they're creation tools. Every sentence you speak is like a blueprint that the universe uses to construct your experience. When you say, "I'm always struggling with money," you've just handed the universe a blueprint for financial struggle. When you say, "Money flows to me easily," you've handed the universe a blueprint for financial abundance. Most people treat this power very carelessly. They speak without thinking, letting whatever thoughts and emotions they're feeling pour out of their mouths without any consideration for the consequences. It's like having a loaded gun and shooting randomly without aiming. Sometimes you might hit something good by accident, but most of the time you're going to create damage. Your words are like seeds you plant in the spiritual world. Every single word that comes out of your mouth is a seed that gets planted in invisible soil. These seeds then grow into the experiences you have in your physical life. When you say, "I never have enough money," you're planting seeds of financial lack. The universe takes these seeds, plants them in the spiritual realm, and then grows them into real experiences of not having enough money. But when you say, "Money flows to me easily and abundantly," you're planting completely different seeds. You're planting seeds of financial abundance and ease. The universe takes these seeds and grows them into real experiences of money flowing into your life. The universe doesn't judge whether your seeds are good or bad. It just grows whatever you plant. This is why it's so important to become extremely conscious of what you're saying throughout the day. Most people are unconscious gardeners. They're throwing seeds everywhere without paying attention to what they're planting. Then they wonder why their life garden is full of weeds instead of flowers. They're getting exactly what they planted, but they planted it unconsciously. Let's go back to attracting money, because this is where most people struggle the most. If your relationship with money through your words is "money is hard to get," then the universe will keep making money hard for you to get. Every time you say "money is hard to make," or "rich people are greedy," or "I can't afford anything," you're giving the universe very clear instructions about how you want your financial life to work. The universe hears these instructions and says, "Okay, you want money to be hard to get. You want to not be able to afford things. You want to believe that wealth is bad. No problem. I'll make sure that's exactly what you experience." And then the universe goes to work arranging circumstances, opportunities, and events to make sure your words come true. This might sound unfair or harsh, but it's actually a perfect system. The universe is giving you exactly what you're asking for through your words. The problem is that most people don't realize they're asking for things they don't want. They think they're just expressing their current situation, but they're actually giving orders for their future situation. When you understand this, everything changes. You realize that you've been the one in control all along. You've been the one deciding what kind of life you have through the words you choose to speak. This is both empowering and terrifying. It's empowering because it means you can change your life by changing your words. It's terrifying because it means you're responsible for everything you've been experiencing. Here's something that most people don't understand about complaining. When you complain about something, you're not just expressing frustration. You're actually ordering more of that thing from the universe. Every complaint is like placing an order for more of whatever you're complaining about. When you say, "I hate my job," you're not just venting. You're asking for more reasons to hate your job. When you say, "My bills are too high," You're not just stating a fact, you're requesting higher bills. When you say people are so rude these days, you're not just making an observation, you're inviting more rude people into your experience. This is why people who complain a lot tend to have more and more things to complain about. They think they're just unlucky or that the world is against them, but they're actually creating their problems through their own words. Every complaint becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The universe doesn't understand sarcasm, frustration, or whether you're joking. It only understands the content of your words. When you say, "My life sucks," the universe doesn't hear that you're upset and want things to change. It hears, "My life sucks," and immediately goes to work to make sure your life continues to suck. But here's the incredible part. This same principle works in reverse. When you start speaking positively about your life, the universe starts creating positive experiences. When you say, "Amazing opportunities always come to me," the universe starts sending you amazing opportunities. When you say, "I am blessed and highly favored," the universe starts arranging blessings and favor in your life. This isn't just wishful thinking or fake positivity. This is working with universal laws to create the kind of life you actually want to live. Instead of accidentally creating problems through unconscious negative speech, you start deliberately creating solutions and blessings through conscious positive speech. The key is to understand that you're not lying or pretending when you speak positively about things that haven't happened yet. You're giving the universe advance instructions about what you want to experience. You're placing your order for the kind of life you want to live. When a farmer plants corn seeds, he doesn't wait until the corn grows before he calls it corn. He calls it corn the moment he plants the seeds, even though all he sees is dirt. He knows that if he planted corn seeds and takes care of them properly, corn will definitely grow. Your positive words are like seeds that will definitely grow into positive experiences if you plant them consistently and take care of them properly. The universe is like a giant mirror that reflects back to you exactly what you project into it through your words. When you speak lack, you see lack reflected back to you in your circumstances. When you speak abundance, you see abundance reflected back to you. When you speak sickness, you see sickness. When you speak health, you see health. Most people have this completely backwards. They think they should speak about what they see in the mirror of their current circumstances, but that keeps them trapped in the same reflection forever. If you want to change what you see in the mirror of your life, you have to change what you're projecting into it through your words. This is why people stay stuck in the same patterns for years or even decades. They look at their current situation and then speak about their current situation, which just creates more of their current situation. They're stuck in a feedback loop of creating the same reality over and over again through their words. Breaking this cycle requires tremendous courage and faith. You have to be willing to speak differently than what you currently see. You have to be willing to speak abundance while your bank account is empty. Speak health while your body is sick. Speak love while you're feeling lonely. This goes against everything your logical mind tells you to do. This is where faith comes in. Faith isn't just believing in something you can't see. Faith is speaking about something you can't see yet, as if it's already real. Faith is calling things that are not as though they were. When you speak about the money that's coming to you as if it's already on its way, that's faith in action. The universe responds to faith-filled words much faster than it responds to doubt-filled words. When you speak with absolute certainty that good things are coming to you, the universe hears that certainty and moves mountains to make your words come true. But when you speak with doubt and uncertainty, the universe hears that doubt and gives you uncertain results. This is why it's so important to speak with conviction and confidence, even when you don't feel confident about your current circumstances. Your words have more power when they're backed by strong emotion and unwavering belief. When you say, "Money flows to me easily with complete confidence," that carries much more creative power than saying it with doubt and uncertainty. The universe is always listening to both your words and the emotion behind your words. When your words and emotions are aligned in the same positive direction, you become an unstoppable creative force. But when your words are positive, but your emotions are negative, you send mixed signals to the universe and get mixed results. Thinking. I've written a substantial script covering the first 3 sections as requested. Let me check. Hook section. Check covers sacred word principle. Introduction, money example, breaking universal laws, millionaire's secret language. Stake section covers consequences of not changing words, promise of mastery, mourning ritual, price of ignorance, power given. Principle explanation covers words as seeds, metaphor, universal response system, complaint trap, positive word revolution, mirror effect, faith factor. The script is written in simple, easy-to-understand English without hard vocabulary. It's engaging and in-depth with clear headings for each paragraph section. I've aimed for around 4,000 words and focused on the spiritual money attraction topic as requested. The script follows the template structure but is adapted to the specific topic. No self-reference or conclusions included as requested. The first key of the sacred word principle is to understand that the universe reflects 2 things back to you every single day: how you talk about yourself and how you talk about the world around you. What shows up in your life is exactly what you've been saying, both about who you are and about how life works. This is like having a cosmic mirror that never lies and never makes mistakes. It simply shows you exactly what you've been projecting through your words. Most people don't realize they're looking into this mirror all day long. They think their circumstances just happen to them randomly, or that they're victims of bad luck or other people's actions. But the truth is that everything they see around them is a perfect reflection of the words they've been speaking about themselves and their world. When you say, "I'm not good with money," you're telling the universe exactly who you are, and the universe says, "Okay, you're not good with money. Here's more proof of that." The universe is like a best friend who always agrees with everything you say about yourself. If you say, "I'm unlucky," your cosmic best friend says, "Yes, you're unlucky. Let me show you more examples of your bad luck." If you say, "I'm blessed and highly favored," your cosmic best friend says, "Yes, you are blessed and highly favored. Let me arrange more blessings for you." The universe never argues with your self-description. It just works tirelessly to prove that whatever you say about yourself is absolutely true. This is why your self-talk is so incredibly important. The way you talk about yourself when nobody else is listening is programming your entire life experience. When you look in the mirror and say, "I look terrible today," you're not just expressing an opinion. You're giving the universe instructions about how you want people to see you and treat you that day. When you say, "I'm so stupid," you're not just being hard on yourself. You're ordering experiences that will make you feel stupid. But here's what's amazing. This works in both directions. When you start saying, "I'm brilliant and creative," the universe starts arranging situations where your brilliance and creativity can shine. When you say, "I'm attractive and magnetic," the universe starts making you more attractive and magnetic to other people. When you say, "I'm wealthy and abundant," the universe starts opening up pathways for wealth and abundance to flow into your life. Most people have been programmed from childhood to speak negatively about themselves. They learn to say things like, "I'm not smart enough," "I'm not pretty enough," "I'm not good enough," "I can't do anything right." These become like broken records playing in their minds and coming out of their mouths day after day, year after year. And the universe listens to every single word and works to make these statements true in their experience. The tragedy is that most people don't even realize they're doing this to themselves. They think they're just being realistic or humble, but they're actually creating lives of limitation and struggle through their own words about themselves. They wonder why they never get promoted at work, why they can't find love, why money is always tight, never realizing that they've been ordering these exact experiences through their negative self-talk. But it's not just how you talk about yourself that matters. It's also how you talk about the world around you. Your general statements about how life works become the rules that govern your personal experience. When you say life is hard, you're not just making an observation, you're creating a personal reality where life becomes hard for you. When you say people can't be trusted, you're not just expressing caution, you're attracting untrustworthy people into your life. Think about the common phrases people say about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard for money. There's never enough to go around. Every single one of these statements becomes a rule in that person's financial reality. The universe takes these rules very seriously and makes sure that person's financial experience matches exactly what they've declared to be true about money. But people who are wealthy tend to have completely different rules about money. They say things like, money flows easily. There's always more than enough. Wealth allows me to help others. Money comes to me in multiple streams. I attract money effortlessly. These become the rules that govern their financial reality, and the universe arranges their experience to match these rules perfectly. Here's something that will change how you see everything. The universe is like a cosmic yes man that agrees with whatever you say. It never contradicts you, never argues with you, never tries to talk you out of anything. Whatever you declare to be true about yourself and your world, the universe says, yes, that's absolutely right. And here's more evidence to prove it. This is why people who complain a lot always have more things to complain about. The universe hears their complaints and says, yes, you're right. Life is terrible. Here are more terrible things for you to experience. People who gossip and speak negatively about others find themselves surrounded by more negative, gossipy people. People who say, you can't trust anyone these days, keep meeting untrustworthy people. But people who speak positively about life keep experiencing more positive things. People who say, everyone is so kind and helpful, keep meeting kind, helpful people. People who say, opportunities are everywhere, keep discovering new opportunities. The universe is completely neutral. It just agrees with whatever you say and then proves you right through your experiences. This is both the most liberating and the most terrifying truth you can learn. It's liberating because it means you have complete control over your experience through your words. It's terrifying because it means you're responsible for everything you've been experiencing. You can't blame other people, circumstances, or bad luck anymore. You have to accept that your words have been creating your reality all along. Most people are running on unconscious word programs that were installed in childhood. They learned certain ways of talking about themselves and the world from their parents, teachers, and society. And they've been repeating these same patterns for decades without questioning them. They inherited poverty consciousness, limitation thinking, and fear-based worldviews through language, and they've been unknowingly passing these same patterns on to their children. But once you understand the word mirror principle, you can start to consciously choose new programs. You can decide to speak about yourself and your world in completely new ways. Instead of saying, I always struggle with money, you can start saying, money comes to me easily and frequently. Instead of saying, life is so stressful, you can start saying, life flows smoothly and peacefully for me. The key is to catch yourself when you're about to speak the old programs and consciously choose new words instead. This takes practice and awareness, but it gets easier over time. Eventually, speaking positively about yourself and your world becomes automatic, and that's when you start to see dramatic changes in your life experience. What you need to understand is that there's always a delay between what you say and what shows up in your life. This is one of the most important principles to grasp, because this delay is where most people lose faith and give up on the power of their words. In the spiritual world, things happen instantly the moment you speak them. Your words immediately create spiritual reality, but in our physical world, everything takes time to grow and manifest. This is similar to how a farmer plants seeds in the ground. The moment the seed goes into the soil, the process of growth begins, but the farmer doesn't see results immediately. There's a period of time where nothing seems to be happening above ground, even though tremendous activity is taking place below the surface. The roots are growing, the plant is developing, all the preparation for manifestation is occurring invisibly. Your words work the same way. The moment you speak something positive about your life, spiritual forces immediately go to work to make it happen in the physical realm. But just like seeds in the ground, there's always a period where you can't see any evidence that anything is changing. This is the testing period where your faith in your words is challenged and where most people give up. So you have to keep saying the right words long enough for your blessings to appear. You can't say, "I am wealthy and abundant" for one day and expect millions of dollars to show up in your bank account the next morning. You can't say, "I am surrounded by loving relationships" once and expect your soulmate to knock on your door that afternoon. The physical world simply doesn't work that fast. But here's what many people don't understand. The delay doesn't mean your words aren't working. The delay is actually proof that they are working. Every day that you speak positive words about your future, you're adding more energy and power to the manifestation process. Every time you declare good things about your life, you're shortening the time it takes for those things to appear. Think of it like charging a battery. When you first plug in a dead battery, nothing seems to happen for a while, but energy is flowing into the battery the entire time, building up until it reaches the point where the device can turn on. Your positive words are like electrical current flowing into the battery of your future reality. Even when you can't see any changes yet, your words are building up the energy needed for manifestation. You must stay faithful to your new words until your desires show up in real life. This is where most people fail. They start speaking positively for a few days or weeks, and when they don't see immediate results, they go back to their old way of talking. They say things like, "See, this positive thinking stuff doesn't work," and then they go right back to speaking lack, limitation, and problems. But what they don't realize is that they were probably very close to a breakthrough. Their positive words were building momentum in the spiritual realm, and if they had just continued a little longer, they would have started seeing results in the physical realm. It's like digging for water. You might dig 90 feet down and not find anything, but if you give up, you might miss the water by just one more foot. The universe is always testing your commitment to your new way of speaking. It wants to see if you really believe what you're saying or if you're just trying it out casually. When you prove that you're serious about your new words by continuing to speak them even when you don't see results yet, the universe responds by accelerating the manifestation process. This is why persistence is so crucial. You have to be willing to speak your desired reality into existence day after day, week after week, month after month, if necessary, without giving up when you don't see immediate changes. The people who get the best results are the ones who treat their positive words like a daily spiritual practice, not like a quick fix or magic trick. Here's something powerful to understand. Your words compound over time. Each positive statement you make builds on all the previous positive statements you've made. It's like putting money in a savings account with compound interest. The longer you keep making deposits, the faster your balance grows. When you first start saying "money flows to me easily," That statement has a certain amount of power. When you say it again the next day, it has more power because it's building on yesterday's statement. By the time you've been saying it for 30 days, it has tremendous accumulated power. By the time you've been saying it for a year, it becomes an unstoppable force in your life. This is why people who have been speaking positively for years seem to have almost magical lives. Good things happen to them so consistently that other people think they're just lucky. But it's not luck. It's the compound effect of years of positive speech creating powerful momentum in their favor. Most people give up long before they reach this compound effect stage. They try positive speaking for a few weeks, don't see dramatic results, and quit. They never get to experience the incredible power that builds up when you consistently speak good things about your life for months and years. During the delay period between your words and their manifestation, tremendous preparation is happening behind the scenes. The universe is arranging people, circumstances, opportunities, and resources to bring your words into physical reality. This invisible preparation is absolutely essential, but because you can't see it happening, it requires tremendous faith to keep speaking positively during this time. Imagine that you declared, "I am about to receive a wonderful new job opportunity." From your perspective, nothing seems to be happening day after day. But in the invisible realm, your future employer might be going through changes that will create the perfect position for you. The person who currently has the job you're meant to have might be getting ready to resign. The hiring manager might be developing a need for exactly the skills you have. All of these preparation activities are happening because of your words, but you can't see any of them. This is why it's so important to trust the process and keep speaking your desired reality even when your current circumstances look exactly the same. Your words are working even when you can't see the evidence yet. Here's something that will completely change how you think about your words. The universe doesn't hear if you're angry, sad, frustrated, or happy when you speak. It only hears the content of your words, the actual things you're saying. This means that when you're upset and you say, "I hate being broke, I hate my bills, I hate having no peace in my life," the universe doesn't hear the frustration or the desire for change behind those words. It only hears broke, bills, and no peace. This is one of the most shocking discoveries people make when they start understanding how spiritual laws really work. They think that because they're upset about their problems, the universe understands that they want their problems to go away. But the universe is like a computer that only processes the exact words you input, regardless of the emotions behind those words. When you say, "I hate being broke," you think you're expressing a desire to have money, but the universe hears "broke" as the main content of your statement and responds by giving you more experiences of being broke. When you say, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired," you think you're expressing a desire for energy and health, but the universe hears "sick and tired" as your order and delivers more sickness and tiredness. This is why so many people stay stuck in negative patterns even when they desperately want change. They're constantly talking about their problems with great emotion and passion, thinking that their emotional intensity will somehow communicate their desire for things to be different. But emotions don't change the content of words. They only make words more powerful. When you speak negative words with strong emotion, you're actually giving those negative words more creative power. Your anger, frustration, fear, and sadness become fuel that makes your negative words manifest more quickly and powerfully. This is why people who complain passionately about their problems tend to have bigger and more persistent problems than people who complain half-heartedly. The universe responds to emotional intensity by speeding up the manifestation of whatever you're speaking with that intensity. If you're speaking poverty with passion, you'll get poverty faster. If you're speaking sickness with emotion, you'll get sickness faster. If you're speaking loneliness with feeling, you'll get loneliness faster. The emotion makes everything manifest more quickly, but it doesn't change what manifests. So you get more of what you're talking about, regardless of how you feel about it. The secret is to flip your language completely. Instead of talking about what you don't want with emotion, start talking about what you do want with emotion. Instead of, I hate being broke, say, I love having money flowing into my life. Instead of, I'm sick of being single, say, I'm excited about the amazing relationship coming to me. This feels strange at first because you're used to expressing your current reality through your words. But remember, your words don't describe your reality. They create your reality. When you change the content of your words to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want, you change what the universe delivers to you. The key is to get just as passionate and emotional about what you want as you used to get about what you don't want. If you used to complain about money problems with great feeling, now you need to speak about money solutions with that same great feeling. If you used to worry about your health with intense emotion, now you need to declare your perfect health with that same intense emotion. Focus your words on what you want, not what you don't want. This sounds simple, but it requires completely retraining how you think and speak. Most people have been trained from childhood to focus on problems, dangers, and things that are wrong. They learn to talk about what they don't have, what they don't like, and what they don't want to happen. But successful people have learned to focus their words on solutions, opportunities, and things that are going right. They talk about what they do have, what they do like, and what they do want to happen. Their vocabulary is filled with words like abundance, success, health, love, joy, and prosperity. They've trained themselves to think and speak in terms of what they're moving toward, not what they're moving away from. This shift in focus completely changes what shows up in their lives. Instead of getting more evidence of problems, they get more evidence of solutions. Instead of attracting more of what they don't want, they attract more of what they do want. The universe responds to their positive focus by arranging positive experiences for them. Making this shift requires constant awareness and practice. You have to catch yourself every time you start to speak about what you don't want and consciously redirect your words to what you do want. This feels awkward and unnatural at first, but it becomes automatic with practice. One of the most powerful ways to focus on what you want is to speak with gratitude about good things that are already in your life and good things that are coming to your life. When you say, I'm so grateful for the money that flows to me easily, you're focusing on money flowing easily. When you say, I'm thankful for the perfect health I enjoy every day, you're focusing on perfect health. Gratitude automatically puts your words in a positive focus. It's almost impossible to speak with genuine gratitude and focus on what you don't want at the same time. Grateful words are always about what you do have or what you do want, never about what you lack or what you fear. The universe responds to grateful words very quickly because gratitude is one of the highest vibrations you can express. When you speak with sincere gratitude, you're telling the universe, I recognize and appreciate good things. And the universe responds by sending you more good things to recognize and appreciate. But here's the key. You don't have to wait until good things happen to be grateful for them. You can be grateful in advance for the blessings that are on their way to you. You can say, thank you for the money that's flowing to me right now, even before you see the money. You can say, I'm grateful for the perfect relationships in my life, even before those relationships appear. This advanced gratitude is extremely powerful because it demonstrates faith in your words and accelerates the manifestation process. When you thank the universe for blessings before they appear in physical form, you're showing complete confidence that your words are working, and the universe responds to that confidence by making your words come true faster. Here are the exact words that changed my life completely, and I want to share them with you because they have the power to transform your reality in ways you never imagined possible. These aren't just random positive statements that sound nice. These are specific combinations of words that work with spiritual laws to create real changes in the physical world. I've been using these words for years now, and the results have been so dramatic that people often ask me what my secret is. For money, the sacred words are, "Money loves me and flows to me from everywhere." This isn't just about attracting money, it's about changing your entire relationship with money. When you say, "Money loves me," you're declaring that you and money have a loving, harmonious relationship. When you say, "Flows to me from everywhere," you're opening yourself up to receiving money from multiple sources, not just your job or business. For peace, the sacred words are, "I am surrounded by divine peace in every moment." This creates a shield of tranquility around you that nothing can penetrate. When you declare that you're surrounded by divine peace, you're invoking spiritual protection that keeps stress, anxiety, and chaos away from your experience. The word divine connects you to the highest source of peace possible. For universal blessings, the sacred words are, "The universe constantly blesses me in amazing ways." This opens you up to receive good things from directions you never expected. When you declare that the universe constantly blesses you, you're programming your life for continuous positive surprises. The word "amazing" ensures that these blessings will exceed your expectations. But remember, you must feel good when you say them. Don't just repeat them like a robot or recite them mechanically without any emotion behind them. Feel the truth of these words in your heart as you speak them. When you say, "Money loves me," actually feel loved by money. When you say, "I am surrounded by divine peace," actually feel that peace surrounding you. When you say, "The universe constantly blesses me," actually feel blessed in that moment. The universe responds much more powerfully to words that are backed by genuine feeling than to words that are just spoken without emotion. When your words and your feelings are aligned in the same positive direction, you become an unstoppable creative force. Your words give the universe the instructions, and your feelings give those instructions power and speed. This is why you can't just mumble these sacred words while you're thinking about your problems or feeling doubtful about whether they'll work. You have to speak them with conviction, enthusiasm, and genuine expectation that they're creating positive changes in your life. The more emotion and belief you put behind these words, the faster they manifest in your reality. Say these sacred words every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to sleep. This creates a powerful spiritual routine that programs your day for success and your sleep for peaceful restoration. Morning declarations set the tone for everything that happens during your day. Evening declarations work in your subconscious mind while you sleep, creating positive changes even when you're not consciously thinking about them. While these specific sacred words are incredibly powerful, you can also create your own personal sacred words based on your specific desires and goals. The key is to make them short, positive, emotionally charged, and stated in the present tense as if they're already true. Instead of saying, "I want money," say, "I have abundant money." Instead of saying, "I hope to find peace," say, "I live in perfect peace." Your personal sacred words should make you feel excited and empowered every time you say them. They should paint a picture of the life you want to live and the person you want to become. When you speak your sacred words, you should feel like you're stepping into a better version of yourself and a better version of your reality. Some people like to write their sacred words down and carry them around, reading them multiple times throughout the day. Others prefer to memorize them and speak them silently whenever they have quiet moments. Some people record themselves saying their sacred words and listen to the recording while they drive or exercise. Find the method that works best for you and stick with it consistently. Here's something amazing that happens when you consistently speak sacred words. They begin to multiply their own power. The more you say them, the more real they become in your experience. The more real they become, the more natural it feels to say them. The more natural it feels to say them, the more power they carry. This creates an upward spiral of increasing manifestation power. People who have been speaking sacred words for months or years often report that their words seem to manifest almost instantly. What used to take weeks or months to appear in their lives now happens in days or even hours. This isn't because the universe has changed. It's because their words have built up tremendous accumulated power through consistent repetition. Most people get trapped in a cycle that keeps them stuck in the same reality year after year, and they don't even realize they're trapped. This cycle is so common and so automatic that it feels completely normal, but it's actually the main reason why most people never experience significant positive change in their lives. Understanding this cycle and learning how to break it is the difference between staying stuck and creating the life of your dreams. Here's how the trap works. Most people look at their current circumstances first, then they speak about what they see, and then they get more of what they just spoke about. They look at their empty bank account and say, "I have no money." They look at their stressful job and say, "I hate my work." They look at their relationship problems and say, "Love never works out for me." Then the universe takes these words and creates more experiences that match exactly what they just declared. Then what happens next? They look at these new negative experiences and speak about them too, creating even more negative experiences. It's like being stuck in spiritual quicksand. The more you struggle using the same old methods, the deeper you sink. They experience ups and downs, and there's no way to escape them because they keep feeding the same cycle with their words. This is the standard cycle for people who feel like victims of their circumstances. They observe their current reality, then they create negative thoughts and words based on what they observe. And then the universe reflects these negative words back to them as more negative experiences. Then they observe these new negative experiences, and the whole cycle starts over again. It's like being trapped in a room with mirrors on every wall. Everywhere you look, you see the same reflection, and you think that's all there is. You don't realize that you're the one creating the reflection in the first place. Most people live their entire lives in this mirror room, never understanding that they have the power to change what they see by changing what they project. This is why people stay stuck in the same patterns for decades. They get the same types of jobs, attract the same types of relationships, face the same types of problems, and experience the same types of limitations year after year. They think this is just how life works for them, or that they're unlucky, or that other people have advantages they don't have. But the truth is that they're just trapped in a word cycle that keeps recreating the same reality. You experience ups and downs, and there's no avoiding them when you're trapped in this cycle. You might have a good day here and there, or things might improve temporarily, but they always go back to the same basic pattern because your words haven't changed. Your external circumstances might shift around, but the underlying reality stays the same because the word cycle stays the same. The key to escaping this trap is to completely reverse this cycle. Instead of observing first, then speaking, then getting results. You need to speak first, then observe, then get results. This goes against everything your logical mind tells you to do, but it's the only way to break free from the prison of your current circumstances. But I want you to remember something very important. There is no fundamental change happening in most people's lives because there is no fundamental change happening in terms of their worldview and identity expressed through their words. They might change their job, their location, their relationship status, or their strategies, but if their words stay the same, their basic life experience stays the same too. This is why people can win the lottery and end up broke again within a few years. This is why people can move to a new city and encounter the same types of problems they had in their old city. This is why people can start new relationships but keep having the same relationship issues. Their external circumstances changed, but their word patterns didn't change, so reality eventually shifted back to match their unchanged words. To break this cycle permanently, you have to be willing to speak differently than what you currently see. You have to develop the courage to declare abundance while looking at lack, to speak health while experiencing sickness, to proclaim love while feeling lonely. This requires tremendous faith and determination, but it's the only way to create lasting change. Here's how to reverse the cycle and become a creator instead of a victim. First, you start with the image you would like to form through your words. You decide what you want to experience, and you begin speaking as if it's already true or already on its way to you. You turn your back on your current reflection in the mirror of reality because you realize that what's around you now has only been formed from decisions and words you made in the past. You need to realize this, or nothing will change in your life. If you want to shape tomorrow, you must consciously choose your words today. Your current circumstances are just the result of words you spoke weeks, months, or years ago. They have nothing to do with what's possible for your future if you start speaking differently today. So you start with the image created through your words. You say, "This is what I want, and this is what I declare to be true about my life." You speak about money flowing to you even when your bank account is empty. You speak about perfect health even when your body has symptoms. You speak about amazing relationships even when you're currently alone. This feels completely unnatural at first, but it's the most powerful thing you can do. When you choose the image through your words and say, "Hey, this is what I want and this is what I have," the universe has no choice but to start reflecting it back to you in small amounts, little by little. Even small changes will happen slowly with some delay, but they will happen if you stay consistent with your new words. So what do you do next? Instead of observing problems, you confirm progress. You take a look in the mirror of reality to see what's working, and when you see positive changes, even tiny ones, you think, "Oh, that's working. Look, that happened. My words are creating results." If you wanted more confidence, over time, you'll notice that people start to welcome you better and treat you with more respect. If you wanted to improve some aspect of your work or business, you'll notice that things are getting better gradually. Your whole world may still seem to be falling apart in some areas, but you only focus on the things you want to confirm, the things that correspond to the worldview and identity you've chosen to create through your words. This is completely different from how most people operate. Most people look for evidence that supports their negative words and ignore evidence that contradicts them. But when you're in creator mode, you look for evidence that supports your positive words and you celebrate every small sign of progress. The idea is that you always keep doing this confirmation process, and the more you keep doing it, your positive words will turn into something beyond anything you've ever imagined. The small positive changes will become bigger positive changes. The occasional good things will become consistent good things. What started as speaking your desires will become living your desires. If you start using these principles consistently, your life will change completely. This isn't just positive thinking or wishful hoping. This is working with fundamental spiritual laws that govern how reality operates. When you align your words with these laws, you become a powerful creator instead of a passive victim of circumstances. The beautiful thing about this cycle is that it builds momentum over time. The more you practice speaking first and confirming second, the stronger your faith becomes. The stronger your faith becomes, the more powerful your words become. The more powerful your words become, the faster your desired reality manifests. Eventually, you reach a point where positive changes happen so consistently that you never doubt the power of your words again. As we dive deeper into the depths of the sacred word principle, we discover an inner power that we often overlook, a power that has been sleeping inside us our entire lives, waiting for us to remember how to use it. What we see around us in our daily experience is in fact nothing more than an echo of our beliefs, our identity, and our worldview, all expressed through the words we speak every single day. Most people live their whole lives never realizing that they possess this incredible creative power. They think words are just sounds that disappear into the air, but the truth is that words are the building blocks of reality itself. Every word you speak is like a piece of cosmic DNA that programs your future experience. When you understand this, everything changes about how you see yourself and your role in creating your life. But the secret of true transformation is this: instead of just observing reality and complaining about what we don't like, we must become bold enough to shape our destiny with the image of who we want to be and what we want to achieve, expressed through our daily words. This requires courage because it means speaking differently than what you currently see. But this courage is what separates people who transform their lives from people who stay stuck in the same patterns forever. As we form this new image through our transformed words, the mirror of reality responds with small changes, slowly transforming itself to match our new verbal instructions. At first, these changes might be so small that other people don't notice them, but you'll start to see evidence everywhere that your words are working. An unexpected check in the mail, a friendly conversation with a stranger, a moment of perfect peace in a stressful situation. These are all signs that the universe is responding to your new way of speaking. The mirror of reality knows no limits. It can create anything you consistently speak into existence. It doesn't judge whether your requests are big or small, realistic or unrealistic, deserving or undeserving. It simply responds to the content of your words with mathematical precision. This is why it's so important to be extremely careful about what you say, because the universe is always listening and always responding. Just like the ancient alchemists who discovered the secrets of turning ordinary metals into gold, we can transmute our lives by adopting a mindset of abundance and focusing our words on what we have and what we want, rather than what we lack and what we fear. The difference is that we're not transforming metal, we're transforming reality itself through the power of conscious speech. Ultimately, our journey through the mirror of reality is a search for the truth within ourselves and a celebration of our ability to create, to innovate, and to transcend any limitation that has been placed on us by circumstances, other people, or our own past choices. When you truly understand that your words create your world, you realize that you're not a victim of life. You're the author of your life story. This inner journey requires you to take full responsibility for everything you've been experiencing, which can be difficult at first. It means admitting that your words have been creating your problems as well as your blessings. But this responsibility is actually the greatest gift you can give yourself. because it means you have the power to change anything you don't like about your life. The people who master this principle become like spiritual artists, painting their reality with words instead of brushes, creating masterpieces of experience through conscious speech. They understand that every conversation is an opportunity to create something beautiful. Every complaint is a wasted chance to speak something better into existence, and every word is a sacred tool for building the life of their dreams. When you start living this way, you don't just change your own life, you start to influence everyone around you. Your transformed way of speaking begins to lift up other people and inspire them to speak more positively about their own lives. You become a walking example of what's possible when someone learns to use their words consciously and deliberately. Your family members start to notice that you don't complain as much and that good things seem to happen to you more often. Your friends start to feel better when they're around you because your words create an atmosphere of possibility and hope. Your co-workers start to see you as someone who always has solutions instead of problems, ideas instead of excuses, and faith instead of fear. This ripple effect can literally transform entire communities as more and more people learn to speak life, abundance, health, love, and blessings into existence. Imagine what the world would be like if everyone understood the sacred word principle and used it to create positive realities instead of negative ones. Thank you for taking this incredible spiritual journey with me today. What you've learned in this video has the power to completely revolutionize your life if you choose to apply it consistently. The sacred word principle isn't just information, it's transformation waiting to happen through your commitment to speak differently starting right now. If these sacred truths have spoken to your heart and awakened something deep inside you, I invite you to take action immediately. First, like this video to help spread these life-changing principles to others who desperately need to hear them. Your simple click could be the reason someone else discovers the power to transform their reality through their words. Subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss the spiritual wisdom and practical tools we share to help you create the life of your dreams. We're building a community of conscious creators who understand that words have power and who are committed to using that power to build better lives for themselves and everyone around them. Share this video with your family, friends, and anyone you care about so they can benefit from this life-changing message. When you share spiritual truth, you're not just helping others, you're also creating positive karma that comes back to bless your own life in amazing ways. The universe always rewards those who help spread wisdom and hope to others. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing which sacred words you're going to start saying today. Are you going to focus on attracting money by declaring, "Money loves me and flows to me from everywhere"? Are you going to create more peace by saying, "I am surrounded by divine peace in every moment"? Are you going to open yourself to blessings by affirming, "The universe constantly blesses me in amazing ways"? When you write your commitment in the comments, you're making it real and public, which gives your words even more power. You're also inspiring other viewers who read your comment and see your courage to speak boldly about the life you're creating. Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to see to give them the faith to start using these principles in their own life. I also want you to share any success stories or positive changes you experience as you start applying the sacred word principle. Your testimonies will encourage others and prove that these spiritual laws really work when applied consistently. There's nothing more powerful than real-life evidence that speaking consciously can transform reality. Remember, this video is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a completely new way of living. From this moment forward, you have the knowledge and the tools to create any reality you desire through the power of your words. You no longer have to be a victim of circumstances, other people's choices, or past mistakes. You can literally speak a new life into existence starting today. The sacred words you learned today are like seeds of infinite possibility. Plant them in the soil of your daily conversations, water them with genuine emotion and faith, and watch as they grow into a reality more beautiful than anything you ever imagined possible. Your words are your paintbrush, and your life is your canvas. Create something amazing. Thanks again for watching and for opening your heart to these sacred teachings. May money flow to you easily and abundantly. May divine peace surround you in every moment, and may the universe bless you in ways that exceed your highest expectations. Your transformation begins now, with the very next words you choose to speak. Take care, speak consciously, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore even more powerful principles for creating the life of your dreams through spiritual wisdom and practical application. The sacred word principle you've discovered today is more than just a spiritual concept. It's a practical tool that can reshape every aspect of your existence. You now understand that your words are not merely sounds that disappear into the air, but powerful creative forces that continuously mold your reality. Every sentence you speak is an instruction to the universe, a blueprint that gets immediately put into action by invisible spiritual laws. The 4 keys we've explored together: understanding your word mirror, recognizing the delay between words and results, knowing that the universe hears content rather than emotions, and using specific sacred words for money, peace, and blessings, form a complete system for conscious reality creation. When you apply these principles consistently, you shift from being someone who reacts to life to someone who creates life through intentional speech. The transformation that awaits you goes beyond anything you can currently imagine. As you begin to speak with purpose and power, you'll witness changes not just in your circumstances, but in your very identity. You'll evolve from someone who complains about problems to someone who speaks solutions into existence. You'll transform from someone who fears the future to someone who creates the future with confident declarations of good things to come. Your journey with the sacred word principle starts now, with the very next words you choose to speak. Choose them wisely, speak them with faith, and prepare to see miracles unfold in your daily experience. Thinking I've completed the remaining sections as requested. Key 4. The sacred words for money, peace, and blessings. Detailed explanation of the specific words to use, how to use them with emotion, timing, and creating personal sacred words. The word cycle that changes everything. Explain the victim cycle versus creator cycle, how most people stay trapped, and how to reverse the process. Inspirational conclusion, wrapped up with transformation themes, inner journey, ripple effects. Call to action. Traditional YouTube ending asking for likes, subscribes, shares, comments with specific engagement prompts. Conclusion, final summary of the key points and transformation promise. The script maintains the same style and tone throughout. Simple English, spiritual but practical, engaging and in-depth. It follows the outline structure while adapting the content to the specific topic of using words to attract money, peace, and universal blessings.